There is something almost mythical about standing at the edge of the Rhine River, watching its steel-blue waters carve their way through one of Europe's most storied landscapes. This is not just a river. It is a living timeline, a corridor of cathedrals, castles, vineyards, and ancient cities that have shaped Western civilization for thousands of years. The journey from Cologne to Strasbourg and Basel and back again is one of the most spectacular river voyages on the planet. And every bend in the water reveals something that feels like it was pulled straight from a fairy tale. Cologne is where the story starts, and what a beginning it is. The city's iconic, twin-spired cathedral, the Kölner Dom, rises 632 feet into the sky and took over 600 years to complete. Standing in its shadow, you immediately understand that this journey will be measured not in miles but in centuries. The Rhine here is wide and confident, flowing past Roman ruins, Romanesque churches, and a vibrant old town that pulses with life even on quiet mornings. As the vessel pulls away from the Cologne docks, the cathedral slowly shrinks behind you, but its presence lingers long after it disappears from view. Heading south from Cologne, the river begins to narrow and the landscape transforms dramatically. This stretch, known as the Middle Rhine Valley, is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and it earns that designation at every single turn. Steep slate hillsides rise sharply on both banks, blanketed in terraced vineyards that produce some of Germany's finest Riesling wines. Perched on rocky outcroppings above the water, medieval castles appear one after another, each with its own legend, its own ghost, its own chapter in the long history of this valley. The Loreley Rock, rising nearly 400 feet above the river, is perhaps the most famous landmark along this stretch. According to legend, a golden-haired siren once sat atop this cliff, luring sailors to their doom with her enchanting song. The current here is still swift and treacherous, and even today the rock commands a kind of reverent silence from those who pass beneath it. Crossing into France, the Rhine widens again, and the character of the journey shifts entirely. The language on the riverbanks changes, the architecture softens into half-timbered Alsatian charm, and the scent of tart flambe and Gewürztraminer seems to drift across the water. Strasbourg, the capital of the Alsace region, is a city that has belonged to both France and Germany at different points in history, and that dual identity gives it a richness that few European cities can match. The Grande Ile, the historic island at the heart of the city, is itself a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Its cathedral, the Cathédrale Notre-Dame de Strasbourg, was the tallest building in the world for over 2 centuries, and its rose window and astronomical clock remain breathtaking to this day. Wandering through the Petite France Quarter, with its flower-draped bridges and canal reflections, feels like stepping inside a painting that someone forgot to finish. From Strasbourg, the Rhine curves toward Basel, the Swiss city where the river makes its famous sharp turn to the north. Basel sits at the meeting point of 3 countries, Switzerland, France, and Germany, and it carries that cosmopolitan energy in everything from its world-class art museums to its medieval old town. The Mittlere Brücke, one of the oldest bridges on the Rhine, has connected the 2 halves of the city for centuries, and crossing it on foot gives you a perspective on the river that no vessel can offer. The return journey north from Basel back toward Cologne retraces the same waters, but reveals entirely new details. Light changes everything on the Rhine. A castle that glowed amber in the morning sun now stands silver in the afternoon haze. A vineyard that seemed quiet on the way down now hums with the activity of harvest. The Rhine does not repeat itself. It simply offers more of itself each time you look, and that generosity is what makes this voyage truly spectacular.